How impressive were they, Clinton?
Really good, to be fair. Listen, Preston made it really difficult in that first half, but it took Aston Villa a bit of time. And then when Preston stepped on in the second half, Villa exploited that. And with the pace they've got in them front areas and the ability they have in them number 10 areas, they're always going to cause them problems. So, yeah, big result. On to the next one for Aston Villa. They're in, as I said, a lot of competition still and challenging to finish in the Champions League spot. So, yeah, positive performance from them.
How big a day for Marcus Rashford? Does it feel like a breakthrough?
Yeah, it's a huge day. Listen, I think since he's gone to Aston Villa and walked in the door, it's been a big day for Marcus Rashford. We all want to see the Marcus Rashford that we saw of 2 or 3 previous seasons.
Especially England fans, yeah.
Exactly, with a smile on his face. He looks like he's enjoying his football. Sometimes a different challenge and a different voice, your game goes to another level, and he's definitely showed that today. And I know people say it can be against Championship opposition. He still was a threat. He looked really lively after scoring his first goal.
The first goal as well was a bit of a poacher's goal, wasn't it? Playing centrally, was there any hope that he can play there more often? What do you think?
Well, yeah, but listen, Ollie Watkins is the main number 9, but if Ollie Watkins picks up an injury, Aston Villa sold their other player who usually plays in that position in John Duran, who went to El Nassr. So you need someone, obviously, to replace that and become like that. And there's loads of competition for places. I think if Unai Emery says to Rashford, can you do a job as a number 9, he'll definitely do it. He didn't look happy when he had to do it at Man United, but he looked happy today.
And what about the priorities for Aston Villa? How do they shape up? You've got the Champions League to come up against Paris Saint-Germain. They're 4 points off the top 4. Does Emery have to pick a couple to focus on? How does he do it?
Not really, to be fair. Their squad's brilliant. The bench, the players that they could bring off the bench, you don't need to prioritise any one. They're all good competitions. Obviously, the FA Cup, they would love to go to the FA Cup because it's a great opportunity. A lot of the big teams are out, and we have to see how Man City get on with Bournemouth later on this afternoon. So you would make Villa one of the favourites to go on and lift this cup, but they still want to have a good run in the PSG in the Champions League. You're not going to throw that to one side and try and qualify. It's good. It's exciting times for Aston Villa fans. They're living the dream at the moment, that's for sure.
Well, it's not quite Newcastle standards, is it? Because they won the League Cup in 1996, but they haven't won the FA Cup since 1957. We know it was special last night in Newcastle, but there could be some great scenes in Birmingham, couldn't there? How realistic that they get over the line here and win the FA Cup?
Only one side of Birmingham, not both sides.
Oh, no, sorry, of course, with the blue side of it.
The blue side of it. But no, it could be good times for Aston Villa fans. Listen, Unai Emery, as I said, since he's gone into that football club, the way he's changed it and evolved the football club, and everyone's playing for each other and the style of play, and he's got the experience as well. That's the thing with Unai Emery, he has the experience. And I knew as soon as Rashford went to Aston Villa, it was kind of make or break for me with Marcus Rashford. Are you going to go in there, a manager who got the best out of Watkins, took his game to a different level. And he's doing that with Marcus Rashford. And it's good to see. He's just doing an interview now on TV and he's got a big beaming smile on his face. That is what you want to see from Marcus Rashford.
And how much credit should Monchi get for bringing in the likes of Rashford in January? Because we were just talking there about lots of options and permutations, trying to figure out what they're going to do with the players off the bench. It wasn't necessarily like that 5 or 6 months ago at Villa.
No, definitely. And, yeah, full credit to them. There's a lot of other teams trying to get Marcus Rashford, but I think in his hearts of hearts, I think Premier League football is the best for Marcus Rashford. It's the best league in the world. If he had maybe gone somewhere else and not played as regular as he would have, he might not have made that England team. So Thomas Tuchel's come in, put him in the England squad. That helps Marcus Rashford. When you're getting picked for international level and you don't think you've hit top form, that should make you, moving forward, have the confidence. And he has got the confidence at the moment. And fair play to him and good luck to him. I think everyone wants to see Marcus Rashford playing football again and enjoying his football.
And is Paul Heckingbottom now? I know they're not absolutely safe, but for Preston, is it a case of looking at next season and maybe what they can do? Yeah,
they've got a lot of injuries, you know. But watching the game today, there's a lot of injuries. There's 7 or 8 regular players that were sitting in the stands watching the game. So yeah, it's down to Paul Heckingbottom. He went in there. Kind of steady stuff. I think they're going to kick on next season. He needs a bit of help in the transfer market, which he will do, and they could try and qualify for the. No, what am I saying? Qualify. Try and get into the to the playoff places
top
next
6,
season. Yeah, I'm thinking like it's Champions League.
Well, it feels like that, doesn't it? As well. To be fair, you never know when you get in those top 6 what it can be. So no glory for Preston, who last won the FA Cup in 1938. If you're looking at this at Unai Emery now, we know the draw's going to come up. I think it's taking place before the Bournemouth-Manchester City game. We'll bring you that as soon as we get it on Sky Sports News. Who is Unai Emery going to want? We know that Palace went through yesterday. Forest went through last night.
Listen, when it comes to this, you don't want any of the teams. There's a reason these teams have qualified for the semi-final. You look at it, would you want to play Palace, the form they're in at the moment? No. Forest, they're in fantastic form. Villa in good form. And even Bournemouth and Man City, whoever wins out of them, they're all top teams. So it's one of those. You can't pick and choose who you want out of it now, because you've got to the semi-final, and there's a reason all these teams have got to the semi-final. It's just the luck of the draw who you get pulled out. And both of the games, it's not like you have home advantage because they're at Wembley anyway.
Right, let's start with significant transfer news. Trent Alexander-Arnold is moving closer to joining Real Madrid. Our chief reporter, Kaveh Solokol, is back with me. Now, everybody knows Madrid want him. Why haven't they signed him?
Well, look, they've tried. In the January transfer window, they offered £20 million for him, even though he's out of contract this summer, but that was rejected out of hand by Liverpool. The reason this has dragged on is because he's going to be out of contract in the summer. So it suits Real Madrid to get him for nothing in the summer. Obviously, they will have to pay him significant wages, although they're not going to break the bank for him. They'll probably have to give him a signing-on fee as well. But we've been here before. When a player as good as Trent Alexander-Arnold is available on a free transfer, clubs like Real Madrid make sure that they do everything they can to get their man. And this has been a long-term operation for Real Madrid. The first thing they wanted to do is make sure that he did not sign a contract extension with Liverpool. That was the most important thing to begin with for them. And it looks like he hasn't yet, and there's only 3 months to go before he's a free agent. The second part of the operation is to convince him to move to Real Madrid. Now, most players don't need a lot of convincing to move to Real Madrid. I think I should point out that Trent Alexander-Arnold has not told Liverpool that he wants to leave. He's still a Liverpool player. And also, Liverpool have not been told by Real Madrid that they have an agreement with the player or his representatives. That would need to happen before any deal could be formally announced. But as usual, the Spanish media, especially those ones who have very, very close contracts with Real Madrid, are really talking up this move. And this evening, quite a few Spanish outlets are saying that this deal is now very, very close. One of them is saying that it's about to happen, but nothing from Liverpool. I think the general feeling in football, though, is that Real Madrid will end up getting their man, although, as you sort of hinted at in your question, this is a transfer that has really happened in slow motion.
Yeah, but it's not the only one. There's Trent, there's Virgil van Dijk, there's Mohamed Salah. Now, if you're a Liverpool fan, should you be worried that nothing seems to have happened?
I think the most important thing is, if you're a Liverpool fan, you focus on the Premier League table. Look at the Premier League table. You're 12 points clear. You're on your way to winning the title again with Trent Alexander-Arnold, with Mohamed Salah, with Virgil van Dijk. I get what you're saying, though, because this whole situation surrounding those three players' contracts has been a little bit of a distraction, although not on the pitch. If I was a Liverpool fan, it would be something that I would be losing a little bit of sleep over. But having said that, I think you just have to trust the people who run Liverpool. Everybody knows it's an extremely well-run club. The recruitment department is one of the best in the world. They have been talking to these players' representatives. They have been making them contract offers. They obviously haven't come to an agreement yet, but who knows? But I think all along, people have been saying the one who's most likely to leave is Trent Alexander-Arnold because of his age, his profile, and the fact that Real Madrid want him. But let's not jump to any conclusions until there is an official announcement there is an official.
OK, so he's the most likely to leave. Any chance, though, he could stay?
I mean, stranger things have happened in football. He hasn't told Liverpool that he wants to leave. I suppose until his contract runs out, you would have to say there is a possibility that he stays. But I think most Liverpool fans are now resigned to the fact that he is going to leave. I think always when you leave a club on a free transfer, especially a club where you've been all your life, I think it's really, really important that you do things the right way. And so far, you have to say that I know some Liverpool supporters are upset, especially the ones who've been vocal on social media again today. But for what it's worth, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold has behaved in the correct way. He hasn't said he wants to leave. He hasn't come out and given interviews, and he hasn't come up with phantom injuries. He hasn't thrown his toys out of the pram. He's still playing exceptionally well for Liverpool, and they're 12 points clear at the top of the table. And what will be regarding his future and the future of the other two players.
Who Cristiano Ronaldo plays for, aren't in this tournament. So is there a chance that he plays at all in some sneaky way?
Well, we got the crystal ball out for the last question. Let's keep looking at the crystal ball. I'm looking at Cristiano Ronaldo. He's 40. He's done everything. He's won everything. But this is the new Club World Cup, and it only happens once every 4 years. So if he doesn't play in this one, the next chance he'd get to play in it is in 2029, when he'd be 44. You'd think he's probably retired by then, so this is his final chance.
Okay.
Now, the problem is that Al Nassr are not in it, but his contract to Al Nassr runs out at the end of this season. And also, FIFA have said that there is going to be a special transfer window for the football associations of the participating clubs from the 1st of June until the 10th of June. So just before the Club World Cup starts, clubs who are playing in it, they've got 9-10 days to sign new players.
Goodness me.
So I'm just
They're bending
thinking,
the rules a little, aren't they, FIFA?
yeah, well, I mean, but this is the rules. FIFA, they're the governing body. They make
Okay.
the rules. There's also another transfer window, special transfer window during the tournament from the 27th of June to the 3rd of July, when clubs can sign an additional maximum of 2 players. So what I'm thinking, I've got no proof of this, but I'm just thinking, is Cristiano Ronaldo looking at this and thinking, I need to be playing in the Club World Cup. My great rival, Lionel Messi, is playing in it because FIFA have given a slot to Inter Miami. So is he going to try and sign for one of the clubs who are playing in it? Maybe go back to Real Madrid just for a month? How good would that be for Cristiano Ronaldo to play in the Club World Cup
But he wouldn't
for
even
Real
need to
Madrid?
go back for a month. So when I'm just going back to the Trent Alexander thing, because
Yeah.
then he could come in later on to the tournament for Real Madrid.
Yeah, he could join during, but
Goodness
he
me.
might be a free agent, so he could sign for anybody. He doesn't even need to use the window. But I'm just thinking it would make sense for FIFA. Surely FIFA want Cristiano Ronaldo playing in the Club World Cup.
Well, they're making the rules as they go, so I'm sure they'll get him
surely
there.
a club would want him to play for them because just of his stature and who he is, and also the commercial considerations. And surely he wants to play in it himself as well. All I'm saying is watch this space. Watch this space, because is Cristiano Ronaldo really going to be sitting at home watching this tournament when he could be playing in it?
This could be it. This could be his swan song. He lifts the trophy for whoever he plays for. He could have played for the little team at the bottom there. What was that?
Auckland City. But I think being Cristiano
Never
Ronaldo,
know.
you want to play for a team who've got a chance of winning it, don't you?
Yeah,
He
you
wants
do.
to score
You do.
more goals. He wants to lift another trophy. Who knows? I think if I was working at FIFA, I would think the ideal final would be Lionel Messi versus Cristiano Ronaldo in New York on the 18th of July.
That's me. You're going to be there, aren't you?
Hopefully.
Let's bring you some breaking news with regards to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Lots of talk today about his future. We are told that representatives of Trent and Real Madrid are continuing to discuss a potential move to the Bernabeu at the end of the season. However, significantly no agreement has yet been reached. Now, 1 Hour Sports News has been told that whilst there's optimism on both sides, much has still to be sorted out, and there is no guarantee that Trent Alexander-Arnold would be a Real Madrid player next season as it stands. Now, Real Madrid, the Spanish giants, of course, have been long-term admirers of Alexander-Arnold, we know that, and they've been working on a package to tempt him for almost 2 years, with his current deal at Anfield, as we know, due to expire this summer. We know the defenders turned down the opportunity for a lengthy improved contract to stay at Liverpool, and he's made it clear that he does want to leave the club this summer. His boyhood club, of course, he was a Liverpool fan, he's from the area, but he's ready for a change. Now, under the transfer rules, Real and any other club who wishes to approach him are free to do so and negotiate openly with Alexander-Arnold. This has been the case since January, and whilst the potential buyers oblige to keep Liverpool informed and tell them if an agreement's been reached, Real have so far not done that. Now, we know that he is Real Madrid's primary summer transfer target, and it's clear that his preference, Trent's preference, is to join Carlo Ancelotti's side. Real Madrid, of course, who he'd be linking up with Jude Bellingham, wouldn't he, his fellow England international? Negotiations that we're told are complex, made even more so by the fact that he is this free agent. So you're going to have issues such as signing on fee, image rights, performance bonuses, and so on. They all need to be addressed. Sometimes, if it's a free transfer, it can be an even more complicated deal to get over the line, and that could well be the case. What could be holding up this situation with Trent Alexander-Arnold? But the key line here is that as it stands, no agreement has yet been reached between Real Madrid or Trent Alexander-Arnold's representatives, but clearly talks are ongoing, and that there is confidence on each side that they can come to a resolution, and it's looking ever increasingly likely that Trent Alexander-Arnold will move to Real Madrid, but they're not there yet. We will, of course, keep you up to date here on 1 Hour Sports News.